Welcome back to Hidden Source News, where we bring you all the top stories that are fit to print. As always, please hit that subscribe button to help us grow and keep bringing you more and more news that affect our lives. Now, let's get down to it. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, once a staunch supporter of Donald Trump, announced this week that she will resign from Congress effective January 5, 2026. In a video statement, she cited personal reasons, frustration with Washington politics, and what she described as a growing disconnect with Trump's positions and conservative establishment dynamics. Her decision opens up the possibility of a special election in her heavily Republican district, and many are wondering how this will affect the GOP's narrow House majority. The resignation also underscores a deeper rift within the party between the MAGA loyal wing and those pursuing different strategies, with Greene publicly branding Trump a traitor following his endorsement of a primary challenger against her. President Donald Trump's meeting with New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani came this week amid a striking imbalance of power. Trump holds strong leverage over federal funding for New York and has threatened increased immigration enforcement and aid cuts if the city's new leadership does not align with his priorities. Mamdani, by contrast, is a political newcomer and self-described democratic socialist facing the challenge of working within a system where the federal government controls key resources. The encounter was seen as symbolic, a high-stakes meeting in which Mamdani must navigate federal leverage while trying to maintain credibility with his progressive base. Analysts view the meeting as a preview of how Trump plans to engage or confront left-leaning local officials going forward. This week, political analysts described November 2025 as an unusually difficult month for President Trump, despite earlier momentum in his second term. After a strong start, marked by trade deals, diplomatic breakthroughs, and domestic policy wins, the president has encountered mounting challenges and reputational hits this month. The article notes that while the White House continues to point to economic gains and drug pricing deals, the optics of a stalled administration are now emerging. With the next election cycle already underway, insiders suggest this slump could complicate Trump's standing in the GOP and raise questions about his strategy heading into 2028. A draft 28-point peace proposal backed by the United States aimed at resolving the war between Ukraine and Russia surfaced this week, outlining sweeping concessions from Ukraine, including constitutional limits on NATO membership and territorial compromises. The plan would recognize Russian control of regions like Crimea and parts of Donetsk and Luhansk, impose troop caps on Ukraine, and grant Russia reintegration into global forums such as the G8. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said he will discuss the draft with President Trump, calling the moment one of the hardest in our history. European allies are alarmed, accusing Washington of cutting them out of the process and favoring Moscow's demands. Following the draft peace plan, the United States gave Ukraine what many dub an ultimatum: accept the basic terms by Thanksgiving or risk losing U.S. military support. The strategy signals deep impatience from Washington and a willingness to tie Ukraine's future aid to rapid concessions. Kyiv officials say the proposed deadlines and terms place unacceptable pressure on their sovereignty, while Russian officials appear cautiously optimistic. The move has spurred European nations to consider counter-proposals, as many fear the draft plan hands Russia lasting strategic advantages. In Nigeria's Niger State, an attack on St. Mary's School resulted in the abduction of at least 303 students and 12 teachers, with 88 additional children captured while trying to escape. The incident is among the worst school kidnapping incidents in the country and has drawn international attention to ongoing security failures in vulnerable regions. No group has claimed responsibility yet. Nigerian authorities have deployed tactical squads alongside so-called local hunters to attempt a rescue. The event raises renewed concerns about the safety of schools in conflict-prone zones and the challenges of protecting children amid escalating violence. The White House is reportedly reviewing whether to allow NVIDIA to sell its advanced H200 AI chips to China, marking a potential shift in long-standing United States export control policy. Currently, the H200 is barred from export to China. Allowing the sales would reflect a broader détente in United States-China tech relations. While the Chinese market represents a huge opportunity for NVIDIA, critics in Washington warn the chips could bolster China's military and surveillance ambitions. The Commerce Department emphasized the review is ongoing and no final decision has been made. A United States criminal case exposed a scheme to illegally export NVIDIA's AI chips, both the H100 and H200, to China via third countries, prompting calls in Congress for mandatory chip tracking legislation. The indictment underscores enforcement challenges in existing export control regimes and has renewed momentum behind the so-called Chip Security Act, which would require location verification and reporting mechanisms for exported chips. Legislative sources say the case highlights how export restrictions alone may not suffice to prevent technology leak-through. Ahead of any policy shift on H200 chips, lawmakers are raising concerns about oversight and national security vulnerability. Observers note a crack in the previously robust rally behind AI infrastructure and chip investments. As companies flood the market, questions are being raised about return on investment, regulation, and long-term viability. Tech stocks still anticipate huge inflows, but analysts warn of some jitter due to rising costs, regulatory scrutiny, and slowing growth in key sectors. The risk here is that a fast-moving technology hype cycle meets a more cautious investor backdrop, with implications for both public companies and private market valuations. The next few quarters are likely to test whether AI investment can sustain its momentum amid macroeconomic and regulatory headwinds. NASA released unprecedented images of the interstellar object 3I Atlas, revealing complex tail structures and confirming it as a rare visit from outside our solar system. The comet is only the third known object of its type to traverse our system, and scientists are using spacecraft and telescopes, even Mars orbiters, to capture data on its composition and trajectory. Though early speculation about, alien spacecraft circulated, NASA clarified the object is natural, yet nonetheless provides a unique opportunity to study material from another star system. As the object moves beyond the inner solar observations, follow-up studies will aim to learn about cosmic dust, gas composition, and interstellar chemistry. Germany's Minister for Research and Technology urged civilian academics to pursue dual-use projects, including military applications, as part of Europe's push to reduce reliance on US and Chinese tech. The move signals a shift in how European governments view scientific research, less purely academic, more strategic. While this could bring new innovations and funding, critics warn it risks blurring lines between fundamental science and national security interests. The announcement also comes amid intensifying competition in the global space and defense sectors, with Germany aiming to become a key player in both. Several significant studies emerged this week. Researchers identified immune cells associated with early type 1 diabetes in lymph nodes, developed novel T-cell transformation insights, and explored nasal nanomedicine to deliver therapies for brain tumors. These advances open potential new pathways for early detection diagnostics and non-invasive therapies. While still early stage, the work underscores the accelerating frontier in biomedical science. Robotics, nanomedicine, immune engineering, and AI-driven diagnostics are converging. The broader implication is that the line between scientific discovery and medical application is shortening rapidly. Health authorities confirmed that an older adult with underlying conditions is the first known human to die from the H5N5 strain of avian influenza in recent months. The case has raised alarm bells among infectious disease experts, who warn that novel bird flu strains may be better adapted to humans than previously thought. Vaccination rates remain low globally, and health systems are bracing for potential spillover or mutation. The World Health Organization and national agencies are now reviewing pandemic preparedness protocols in light of this development. Hospitals nationwide are recording a marked uptick in severe influenza cases, particularly among elderly and immunocompromised patients. Doctors say the dominant strain this year appears more aggressive, leading to earlier and heavier hospitalization loads than in prior seasons. Health authorities are urging broader vaccine uptake, especially as the Northern Hemisphere enters winter. Some hospitals have temporarily reinstated mask mandates and are preparing for potential overflow scenarios. Early-phase clinical trials revealed that a novel gene therapy has dramatically improved cell function outcomes for patients with hereditary blood diseases, with minimal side effects in the small sample tested. Researchers say this could eliminate lifelong dependence on transfusions or medications for some patients. Regulatory agencies are now evaluating the therapy for expanded trials and potentially accelerated approval. The broader field sees this as another milestone in the gene-to-cure era, though caution remains around long-term durability and cost. As the NFL regular season nears its end, multiple teams are locked in high-stakes games to secure playoff seeding and home field advantage. Analysts say this may become one of the most unpredictable late-season races in recent memory, with injuries, surprise upsets, and shifting momentum playing major roles. Fans and bettors alike are adjusting expectations while tracking DraftKings exposure and injury reports closely. With the margin for error so small, every game now carries amplified significance for teams and front offices. A marquee NBA player announced plans this week to join an ownership group tied to an upcoming expansion franchise. The move is being interpreted as a sign of growing player influence beyond the court, part ownership, part strategic positioning. The expansion decision and team composition could reshape future free agency trends, salary cap dynamics, and the broader competitive balance in the league. League officials are watching closely as the player-owner dual role raises new questions about governance, conflict of interest, and team structure. In the latest international soccer tournament, a heavy favorite national team was eliminated in the early knockout stage in a stunning upset. Analysts pointed to tactical missteps, defensive breakdowns, and an underdog's inspired performance as the key factors. The result has dramatically reshaped the tournament's outlook, opening the door for smaller nations to make deeper runs and capturing global fan attention. For bettors and fantasy players, the shift adds volatility and momentum swings that will matter in the rounds ahead. All right, let's dive into entertainment news. A recently released summer blockbuster astonished studios by exceeding opening weekend box office predictions by a wide margin. With a star-studded cast, heavy marketing, and positive early reviews, the film's performance signals a strong rebound for theaters post-pandemic. Analysts suggest studios may now accelerate similar large-budget tentpoles in 2026, shifting release calendars and distribution strategies. The success also sparked a surge in sequel talks, streaming pre-licensing deals, and global merchandise tie-ins. One of the major streaming platforms confirmed a subscription price increase, citing rising production costs, global expansion, and a need to invest in original content. Longtime subscribers expressed frustration online, warning of cancellation if value doesn't improve. Industry observers say the move could reignite streaming wars as competitors offer promotions, bundled services, and ad-supported tiers to win back market share. The timing, near the holiday gift season, raises questions about churn rates and the impact on next year's financials. The much-anticipated sequel Wicked for Good officially premiered on November 21, 2025, generating massive buzz. Directed by John M. Chu, the film focuses on the fractured relationship between Elphaba, played by Cynthia Erivo, and Glinda, Ariana Grande, exploring themes of exile, forgiveness, and power. The emotional stakes are high. Elphaba tries to expose the truth about the wizard, while Glinda's life in Emerald City is challenged by guilt and longing. With its theatrical debut timed perfectly for the holiday season, the movie is expected to be a major box office player and a potential awards contender, thanks to its star cast and lush, fantastical production. Well, these are the stories that have been trending this week. Please leave a like and comment on what stories you enjoyed or what you think. As always, please hit that subscribe button to help us grow. Wishing everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving weekend, and always keep your eyes open to what is going on.